There comes a time on the healing journey when the ache isn't just in your heart, it shows up in your body, in the weight behind your eyes, in the tightness in your chest, in the way your shoulders carry what words never could. But beloved, that doesn't mean you're broken. It means your soul is beginning to release what it no longer needs to hold. You see, awakening isn't just about light rushing in. It's about everything heavy finally rising to the surface to be seen, felt, and freed. Before peace settles, the shadows leave. Not all at once, not always gently, but faithfully. And your body, in its deep wisdom, becomes the place where the letting go begins. Trembling, tears, unexplainable fatigue, emotions that surface for no reason. These aren't random symptoms, they are sacred signs. Signs that your nervous system is unwinding from years of tension, that your breath is stretching deeper than survival, that your spirit is clearing room for truth. In this video, I'll walk with you through 8 signs your body is releasing stored emotional and spiritual weight, what some call dark energy, but what I believe is simply the part of healing we don't always talk about. These signs may feel unfamiliar, but they are holy. They are proof that you are not avoiding the pain, you are moving through it. So if something in you is stirring while you listen, stay with me. And if this speaks to your journey, comment below. It's happening to me too. You never know who might need to see those words today. Sign 1, body tremors, the sacred shaking. It often happens quietly, almost without warning. You're sitting in stillness, maybe meditating, maybe just resting, not thinking of anything in particular. And then your body begins to tremble. Sometimes your hands shake, sometimes it starts deep in your torso. It's not violent, but it's undeniable, like a soft internal earthquake. You check in with yourself. Am I anxious? Am I cold? Is something wrong? But there's no outer cause. This is something deeper. This is sacred. In moments like this, what's really happening is that your nervous system, the delicate, intelligent wiring that holds memory, emotion, and protection, is releasing. You're not malfunctioning, you're resetting. You see, when you begin to awaken, your soul doesn't just speak in ideas or insight, it speaks through the body. The tremors aren't a sign of instability. They're a sign of surrender. For years, maybe decades, you've carried tension and emotional weight tucked into your muscles, your joints, your breath. But now, the body has been given permission to let it go, and it chooses the only language it knows: movement. Trembling is a natural form of nervous system discharge. Animals do it after fear. Children do it in moments of deep emotional release. And you, awakened and awakening, are doing it now. Not because something is wrong, but because something old is leaving. Gently, honestly, on its own sacred schedule. You don't have to analyze it, you don't have to understand exactly what is leaving. Just breathe. Let your body speak, let it unwind what your mind never had the chance to process. That shaking isn't chaos, it's clarity in motion, and it's holy. Sign 2, digestive shifts, gut memory purging. Maybe you've noticed it lately. Your stomach isn't reacting the way it used to. The same food feels too heavy. You're bloated or suddenly sensitive to meals you once enjoyed. Some days, you're not hungry at all. Other days, the cravings arrive with strange urgency. You drink water, try to eat clean, but something still feels off. What's happening here isn't random. It's not just about food, it's about release. In spiritual healing, the gut is more than just a digestive organ. It's the second brain. It holds the unspoken, the unfelt, the unreleased. Fear lives there. So does shame. So does the grief we swallowed instead of expressed. And when you begin to awaken, to come back to yourself, your body starts purging these right from the center. That's why your digestion feels like a mystery. You're not just processing meals, you're processing memory. Many people feel confused when they start craving lighter foods during this time. Fruits, soups, teas, simpler meals. Others feel a sudden aversion to meat, alcohol, sugar, or processed snacks. This isn't a moral decision. It's not a spiritual rule. It's your body asking for what supports release and gently rejecting what burdens it. And here's something beautiful. You don't have to do anything drastic. You don't have to force a new diet or label your cravings as right or wrong. Simply notice, trust what feels nourishing, and bless what you're letting go of. Because every time your gut churns without explanation, every time your appetite shifts for no reason, every time you feel discomfort that doesn't seem physical, that's not dysfunction. That's detox. That's your system rewriting the script of how it holds emotion. This stage of the journey can feel disorienting. But remember, the discomfort is temporary. The release is real. And on the other side of that unsettled belly is a clearer spirit, a calmer mind, and a body finally free to feel light again. So next time your stomach speaks, whether through restlessness, hunger, or sensitivity, don't just ask, "What did I eat?" Ask instead, "What am I ready to let go of?" Sign 3, 3 a.m. wake-ups, the soul's midnight hour. There's something sacred about waking up at 3 a.m., especially when it keeps happening without cause. You went to bed peacefully, no nightmare, no outside noise, but suddenly your eyes snap open, your chest feels heavy, your mind is swirling, and for a moment it feels like something unseen is stirring in the room or within you. This isn't insomnia, it's not a bad habit, it's not even always anxiety. In spiritual healing, this time, between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., is often called the soul's window. It's when the veil between the physical and spiritual world is thinnest. Your conscious mind is at rest, your ego defenses are asleep, and your body finally has room to process what it's been carrying. When you keep waking during these hours, especially with emotional pressure or energetic tension, it's often a sign that something deep within is releasing. The pain you couldn't face in the daylight, the grief you never gave yourself time to feel, the thoughts that were buried because they were too loud. Your spirit chooses this quiet hour because you're still enough to listen. And yes, this clearing can feel disorienting. You may feel like you're being pulled apart, or like something is pressing on your chest then vanishing by morning. But it's not punishment, it's purification. You don't need to analyze it, you don't need to fix it. Just notice it. Breathe slowly. Lay your hand over your heart and say softly, "I'm safe, let it go." These awakenings are not setbacks, they are spiritual openings. And each night you surrender to the discomfort, your soul becomes a little lighter. You're not waking up at 3 a.m. by accident, you're being invited to release, to listen, to heal. Sign 4, skin sensations, exit points of energy. You're sitting quietly, doing nothing unusual when it hits, a sharp tingle across your back, a crawl on your neck, a sudden itch that has no cause. You scratch, it fades, then it returns again. Always in the same place, shoulders, spine, scalp, upper arms. It's subtle, but it won't leave you alone. These aren't just random itches, and no, your body isn't overreacting, it's responding to energy. Your skin is the outermost layer of your energy body. It's sensitive, it's intelligent. And during a deep healing process, especially after a spiritual awakening, it often becomes one of the key exit points for emotional energy. Think of your body like a house. Over the years, it collected emotional dust, guilt, anger, unspoken words, silent grief. And now, your spirit has decided it's time to clean out the attic. But all of that density can't just disappear. It has to go somewhere. So it moves through sensation, through the skin. When your neck tingles, it may be your body releasing old tension from years of responsibility or self-silencing. When your upper back itches or aches, you might be letting go of invisible burdens you've carried for others. When your shoulders buzz or twitch, it could be the energetic weight of trying to hold everything together, finally lifting. This shedding often happens during meditation, stillness, or reflection. Sometimes while journaling, sometimes while remembering something painful, or even something beautiful that once felt out of reach. It might feel strange, uncomfortable, even annoying. But it's holy, and you don't need to overthink it. You just need to cooperate. Drink water, breathe deeply, rest more. Ground yourself, walk barefoot if you can. Let the body complete the cycle. These minor irritations are not minor at all. They are your nervous system and spirit doing sacred work together, unloading pressure you didn't even know you were carrying. The body doesn't ask for permission to heal. It just begins. All you have to do is let it. Next time you feel that tingle, that crawl, that odd little spark under your skin, don't ignore it. Don't judge it. Just say, "I'm ready to let it leave," and trust that your body is keeping its promise to set you free. Sign 5, random tears, unspoken stories. Leaving, there's a kind of crying that doesn't come from sadness. It arrives without warning, while brushing your teeth, folding clothes, or walking through a familiar street. There's no memory attached, no dramatic trigger, no painful thought pushing it forward. And yet the tears come. Quiet, unexpected, soft, as if something deep inside finally loosened its grip and chose to flow. This isn't you falling apart. This is something leaving. Something that didn't need to be named, only felt. Many of us grew up believing that crying always needs a reason, that there has to be a story, a breaking point, an explanation. But in deep healing, some of the most honest tears don't have a clear cause. They are the body's way of releasing emotions that were never allowed to speak. Feelings that were silenced, wounds that were carried without language. These tears often come during moments of quiet, in rest, in stillness, after a long breath or a kind word, or even in the middle of joy. Because healing doesn't follow logic, it follows readiness. And when your system is ready, it releases, gently, fully, beautifully. What's happening in those moments is sacred. Your body is letting go of layers of emotional residue stuck for years. Grief you never expressed, joy you didn't allow yourself to feel, pain you had to hold in because there was no time or space. And now your spirit is saying, it's time. Tears are not interruptions. They are completions. They mean something is moving, unblocking, softening in places that once stayed armored. This is a sign that your nervous system feels safe enough to release, that you're no longer in the same survival mode you once lived in. So don't rush to wipe your face. Don't apologize. Don't question it. Let the water fall. Let your body grieve, celebrate, or surrender, whatever it needs. And when the wave passes, notice how your breath feels longer, how your chest feels lighter, how your thoughts are quieter. That wasn't just crying, that was healing. Your body remembers what your mind forgot, and sometimes it chooses to let go with water. Sign 6. Temporary pain, emotional memory surfacing. Sometimes healing doesn't show up as calmness or clarity, it arrives sharply. You might be having a peaceful day when suddenly your shoulder begins to ache, your lower back tightens, or a sharp twinge hits your hip. It lasts only a few moments, maybe a few minutes, and then disappears like nothing ever happened. No injury, no strenuous activity, no physical explanation. That's because this pain isn't physical in origin. It's emotional memory surfacing. The body is a brilliant archive of everything the heart couldn't process at the time. Fear gets tucked into the hips. Guilt rests behind the ribs. Responsibility builds in the shoulders. Rejection buries itself in the spine. And because there wasn't space or safety to express it in the moment, it was stored for later, quietly, patiently. During deep spiritual healing, that later often becomes now. These sudden aches aren't meant to punish you. They're trying to free you. They are signals that your energetic system has reached a point where it can finally begin to clean out old residue. What you feel as pain is actually a message rising into awareness. It's the body saying, this doesn't belong here anymore. And while the instinct might be to stretch it out or try to ignore it, the most powerful thing you can do is pause and listen. Place your hand gently over the area. Close your eyes. Take a breath. Whisper inwardly, I hear you. I see you. It's safe to let go. You'd be amazed at how quickly the body responds to loving attention. These aren't muscular injuries. They're emotional echoes. The ache in your shoulder might be all the times you carried someone else's burden. The knot in your back could be the weight of keeping everything together. The tension in your jaw might be unspoken truths that never had space to rise. When these pains show up and vanish without logical cause, it's not dysfunction. It's detox. This is how the nervous system releases what was held in silence. And each time you meet that moment with presence instead of panic, you create a new memory, one where your body was safe enough to speak and be heard. So the next time something flares up and fades just as quickly, remember, you're not falling apart, you're unfolding. You're shedding what never belonged. And underneath that discomfort is a body trying to return to peace. Healing doesn't always feel good while it's happening, but it always leaves you freer. Sign 7. Ringing ears, the sound of alignment. It begins softly, a single tone in one ear, a high-pitched frequency that lasts a few seconds and fades. It doesn't hurt, it's not constant, but it captures your attention and leaves you wondering, what was that? Then it happens again. Sometimes after a moment of deep emotion, sometimes in complete stillness, sometimes right before sleep or during meditation. And no matter how strange it feels, you can't shake the sense that something meaningful just passed through. This is not dysfunction. It is alignment. When your energy body shifts, your physical senses recalibrate. The ears, especially the inner ear, are deeply connected to vibration, balance, and energetic sensitivity. So when your system is tuning into new frequencies, the result can sound like ringing, humming, or subtle tones that appear without cause. In the spiritual realm, these are sometimes called harmonics, energetic echoes that reflect shifts taking place within your nervous system. If you've been moving through emotional releases, unspoken forgiveness, or sudden insight, these sounds may follow as signs that something just clicked into place. They are moments of inner tuning, your system locking on to a more authentic rhythm. You're no longer resonating with the noise of survival. You're starting to hear the quieter melody of healing. Many report that these tones increase around emotional breakthroughs. You might cry and then hear the tone. You might forgive someone silently and then feel it rise in one ear. These are not coincidences, they are affirmations. They are your soul's quiet way of saying, something just changed, and we're attuning accordingly. You don't need to chase the meaning. Just notice. Let it come and go like a bell marking the end of an old frequency. You are not malfunctioning. You are refining. You're not broken. You're becoming sensitive to truth. Sign 8. Urge to declutter. Preparing for the light. It starts innocently. You look at a corner of your room and feel a sudden urge to clean. But it's not the kind of cleaning that comes from habit or obligation. It's a deep, pressing need to move things, throw things out, and make space. Maybe the clutter that never bothered you before now feels heavy. Maybe an old object gives you a strange feeling. Or maybe your entire home suddenly feels like it no longer matches the person you're becoming. This is not just about tidiness. This is energetic preparation. Your outer environment is an extension of your internal world. And as your energy field shifts, releasing emotional baggage, recalibrating old identities, your body begins to crave surroundings that reflect that clarity. The clutter isn't just visual anymore. It feels like noise, like weight, like distraction from what's real. And so you begin the sacred task of clearing not just your home, but your field. What's powerful about this process is that it's often intuitive. You won't always be able to explain why you suddenly need to get rid of certain clothes, books, decorations, or keepsakes. You'll just know this no longer belongs. And that knowing is wisdom. That knowing is your spirit saying, make room for the new. It's not about minimalism for its own sake. It's about resonance. The things around you carry energy, memories, vibrations, emotions. And when you outgrow the frequency, your body feels it. You may rearrange furniture to let more light in. You may take down images that no longer reflect who you are. You may finally let go of items you held on to just in case. This isn't a phase. It's a clearing, a spiritual nesting process where your physical space prepares to receive the peace and clarity your inner space has begun to hold. Don't dismiss the urge. Listen to it. Let your hands follow your heart. Trust that your system knows what it's doing. And notice how, after each release, the room feels different, lighter, quieter, as if your home itself took a breath. What you're doing isn't superficial. It's spiritual hygiene. It's energetic alignment. And the more honestly you make space in your environment, the more deeply you allow your soul to take root in your daily life. What you're feeling isn't random. It isn't punishment. It isn't failure. It's your system returning to truth. This isn't chaos. It's release. This isn't weakness. It's wisdom in motion. Every tremor, every tear, every tight muscle, or unexpected breath is part of a deeper intelligence at work inside you. You are not unraveling into pieces. You are unfolding into wholeness. Your body isn't betraying you. It's blessing you. One sensation at a time, one layer at a time. It knows how to heal when you stop trying to control it and start trusting its rhythm. And yes, sometimes healing feels strange. Sometimes it looks like clutter clearing, breath deepening, or emotion rising without story. But that's how the soul speaks, through experience, not explanation. So if you've been wondering whether the discomfort means something is wrong, hear this. It means something is finally right. The armor is softening, the pain is being honored, the story is ready to shift. Let this be your permission to breathe easier, to move slower, to trust deeper. Let this be the reminder that even in the ache, you are being guided. You are not lost. You are being led back to your true self, through the one place you were taught to ignore, your body. And if your body has spoken to you in any of these ways, I'd love to know. Just comment, "I'm listening now." Because that's where real healing begins. In listening, with presence, with love, with no need to fix.